Muy buenas gente, soy Iberican, bienvenidos a mi canal de nuevo. Hoy os traigo un capítulo más de la llamada de Cthulhu. Vale, mientras va cargando os cuento un poquito. Si os acordáis, en el capítulo anterior logramos escapar del manicomio gracias a la agente Bradley y a la doctora Colden, ¿vale? Y no se nos ha ocurrido una cosa mejor que volver a la mansión de los Hawkins a escondernos, porque supuestamente nos estarán buscando. Así que nada, vamos allá.
Who goes there? That nightmare again. I need a drink.
Nos tiene super fichados el Cthulhu este, Vale, vamos a ver si tenemos algo nuevo por aquí. 3 puntos de personaje. Vale. Creo que le voy a subir a investigación. Ahí a nivel 4. Y el que queda... Es que ya no me fío un pelo. Se lo voy a subir, yo creo que a fuerza. Y que sea lo que Dios quiera. Vale. Cordura, Ya, fijaos, ya tenemos el descubrimiento macabro, la muerte de Sanders y el ritual que vimos. Y si os fijáis, donde pone cordura, ahora ha cambiado. Aún estamos estables, pero los desafíos y los calvarios por los que has pasado han dejado huella, pero sobrevives con todas tus fuerzas. Mantienes la mente ocupada para ahuyentar las dudas y los recuerdos más dolorosos. Aún tienes mucho camino por recorrer. ¿Quién sabe a dónde te llevará tu mente por los senderos de la locura? O sea que vamos empezando a estar jodidos, ¿vale? Vale, y aquí el Sanders este... Vale. Es el que vimos en el manicomio, ¿vale? Lugares, ¿qué es esto? Sótano del instituto, vale. Esto nada, pistas, de momento nada. Y inventario, lo de siempre. Vale, vamos a bajar, porque abajo está Bradley y la doctora. A ver qué nos cuentan.
You're awake, Mr. Pierce. How do you feel?
Did I sleep long?
The day is only starting. It's fine.
Y ya está. Vamos a hablar con Bradley, a ver, que lo vimos morir y el tío está aquí.
How's our fugitive? Dr. Fuller hasn't reported your disappearance to the force, but that'll come soon.
Bradley?
Who else would it be?
Mr. Pierce, are you all right? You look like you saw a ghost.
There are things I can't explain.
Tell us. What happened?
Vale, vamos a ver. Esta nada, lo tenemos bloqueado. Vale, lo que me hicieron...
I have flashbacks. They haunt me.
What did they do to you?
There was that Dr. Fuller and a nurse. Blood everywhere. My legs, the pain, I couldn't bear it. I was screaming. They injected me with something. I woke up at the institute. Bradley was there.
And how you scared us. You seemed... demented.
You likely woke up during the anesthesia. No wonder those memories haunt you. What in God's name were they doing to you?
What happened afterwards?
When I woke up the second time, I was in a padded cell. That's where you found me, Doctor. After you released me, I got a good look at what's in store for the patients of the Riverside Institute. Hallucinogenic gas pumped into the cells. An infernal machine. Horrific medical experiments.
Impossible. Dr. Fuller would never do such a thing.
You should believe it, Ethan. What Mr. Pierce saw is precisely what I've been trying to prove. Did you discover anything else?
Vamos a hablar con Bradley, a ver. Medicina, nada. No.
What I'm sure of now is that the Hawkins case isn't just an accident.
And what brings you to that conclusion?
The fact that Charles Hawkins survived the fire.
I don't understand. Mr. Hawkins was buried.
That's what he would have you believe.
I have a hard time believing you.
You were there, Bradley. You even opened fire on him.
I'd remember that.
Why would he fake his own death? Do you think he covered up his wife's murder?
That's possible.
It seems hard to swallow. Don't you have anything more concrete, Pierce?
Parece que le falla la memoria.
Bradley, what do you remember?
I don't understand your question.
The night we went into the Hawkins mansion. You don't seem to remember the tunnels and what occurred there.
No memory of going down any tunnel. No, we were in the manor, then,
Then what?
The rest is quite blurry. I don't recall how I came back home.
And then?
I went to visit you at the hospital, and called on Marie's help to get you released.
And you don't remember the events of the tunnel?
I don't. Let's talk about something else.
Nada bloqueado. Vamos a intentar usar esto.
Seems you two know each other pretty well.
It's a tiny island. Everyone knows everyone. Especially since I'm a police officer and Marie's a doctor.
The chemistry is obvious.
I do seem a little bit stupid, don't I? Anyway, let's get back to the business at hand.
Bueno, hemos descubierto que estos dos están liados, pero... Vale, hablar con Colden.
Given the energy he pours into Riverside, I presume it was Fuller's creation.
His father's, to be correct. He was a surgeon on board the Scylla. He founded the hospital in 1904 with funds from the Hawkins family before he died and his son Thomas Fuller took over.
Two families inextricably linked.
Most island families are that way. Captain Fitzroy's father was also a seaman aboard the Scylla.
Powerful families dominating everything.
Yes, and as you could tell, Dr. Fuller is like some crazed emperor.
He wouldn't be happy if he knew we were snooping around.
I know the risks. I don't fear him. Do you wish to know anything else?
Vi muchos cuerpos.
Dr. Fuller seems to be leaving a trail of corpses. Not to mention those strange machines, chains, and tools of all kind.
Yes. I've been telling you that Fuller uses his patients as guinea pigs.
What I saw was more akin to torture than medicine.
Do you even hear what you're saying? Dr. Fuller is highly respected.
It's the truth, Ethan. And I'll prove it to you. I'm listening, Mr. Pierce.
Vale, volver y... Puede que haya encontrado una
I
pista.
met a Francis Sanders. Do you know him?
Of course, he's a patient. Or was. I haven't seen him since Dr. Fuller had him transferred to the basement.
He knew Sarah Hawkins, and that's what killed him.
What? How did he die?
I'm not sure I can explain it.
Tell me how Mr. Sanders died.
Le voy a decir la verdad.
I didn't see what, but something was there with us.
Of what do you speak?
Sanders said it was Sarah Hawkins' visitor. He spoke of it like a living being.
Sarah Hawkins? Have I missed something here? This makes no sense. I don't see how it can help crack the Hawkins case.
You really think she's involved? How could she have murdered Mr. Sanders?
Francis Sanders mentioned Mrs. Hawkins just before dying. It's no coincidence.
You know, Francis Sanders was a well-known art collector. I guess you can still pay a visit to his wife, Irene Sanders.
An art collector, you say? That's probably how they met.
If you plan on having dinner at the Sanders household, please spare the widow the tale of her late husband's suffering.
I don't agree. She deserves the truth.
But that truth may be biased. We don't know the bottom of it.
Seamos prudentes.
You're right. Without a plausible explanation for what I saw, let's not jump to conclusions.
That seems wise indeed.
Very well. I'll go to see Francis's widow. Perhaps I'll find a link between her husband's death and Sarah Hawkins.
Don't end up in the hospital this time.
I'll do my best.
Vale. ¿Y ahora qué tengo que hacer?
Let us go now and learn the truth about what's happening on this island.
The other night's events are still confused in my head.
Normal. Vale. Capítulo 6. Residencia de los Sanders. Pierce, Colden y Bradley deciden unir sus fuerzas para resolver el caso de Sarah Hawkins. Encuentran un rastro nuevo que seguir, el de Francis Sanders, un coleccionista de artes y amigos del artista que murió delante de Pierce. El detective va a su casa con la intención de hablar con la viuda acerca del vagabundo que mencionó el hombre antes de morir. Pues nada, a ver qué nos encontramos ahora.
What can I do for you, sir?
Mrs. Sanders, I'm a private detective. We must talk about your husband and his ties to Sarah Hawkins. Can I come in?
You may. However, before we go any further, please know that my husband died yesterday.
That is precisely what brings me here.
Well, well, look who's here. You know each other.
We met briefly. Time enough to iron out a few matters. The main thing is that we understood one another. The brave detective has a talent for sticking his nose into my business.
I bump into her every time I'm investigating someone's death.
It's a small island, Detective. My island. It's better that it's you bumping into me.
You're investigating Francis' death. Why? Who hired you?
I spoke to Francis before he died. His story suggests a link to a case I'm working on.
Well, since this business has got nothing to do with me, I'll be in your husband's office, Irene. We'll carry on later.
Very well, Miss Baker. This way, Mr. Pierce. And do make yourself comfortable. It would seem that you have much to tell me. May I inquire as to when you had the opportunity to talk to my husband?
Yesterday, I met him at the hospital. He spoke to me about Sarah Hawkins.
Oh, of course he spoke to you about her. That's all he talked about. Sarah Hawkins and her paintings. Please forgive my tone. The fact is that I have not been allowed to see him since he was interned. You, on the other hand, a perfect stranger, were able to see him and even talk with him the day he died. How was he? Were you present when he had this attack? What happened?
Uf. Me dan ganas de decirle la verdad. A ver. Voy a tirar aquí.
What
a ver qué
happened to
pasa.
your husband is terrible, Mrs. Sanders. But from what I saw, it was inevitable. The man I met yesterday had lost his reason. He suffers no longer, if you would allow me such a platitude.
Of course. Thank you for your kind words. Nobody in that hospital would have deigned to speak them to me.
No sé si la estoy viendo,
However,
¿no?
it will
Pero
require more than that
todas las
to
decisiones que
soothe my
tomo me
mind.
pone que afectará
I need to
a mi
understand.
destino.
could this happen? In a reputed institute. And right before your eyes. Did you not do anything to help him?
El verdadero culpable es Fuller.
So ask Fuller, he's the eminent doctor. But I would caution you, you'll find his treatments more terrifying than the illnesses he sets out to cure.
That churl no longer takes the trouble to receive me. He sends his secretary to tell me that I cannot see Francis. Me. His own widow. He must think that I am a terrible wife for having abandoned him in such a way. But I only wanted what was best for him.
I'm not here to condemn you, Mrs. Sanders.
Oh, I'm tired, Mr. Pierce. I would be grateful if you could tell me what you expect of me, and then leave.
Bueno, sí. Le habló de un
Did your
vagabundo.
husband talk to you about Sarah Hawkins' visitor? A shambler, to use his precise terms.
Well, you can't imagine that's all he talked about. It's exhibited at the center of the gallery. No better place for the painting that endowed him with the privilege of such a shameful and miserable end to his life.
Hold on. The Shambler is a painting by Sarah Hawkins.
Who else to paint such horrors? Take a look for yourself, if you feel so inclined.
It is my only lead at this stage. I suppose I have nothing to lose.
Then you have paid no heed. For my part, I refuse to set foot in that gallery again. But if you're so eager to see it, I would urge you to make the most of your visit. Because I count on ridding myself of that thing as soon as I can.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanders. I won't be long.
Bueno, lo primero va a ser el punto de personaje. Lo vamos a poner en percepción. Y vamos a empezar a investigar.
Did she really care for him after all?
Estimada señora, por la presente acuso el recibo de la carta en la que nos exige el cuerpo de su fallecido marido. Siento informarle de que no puedo dar cumplimiento a su petición. En el momento de su ingreso firmó usted un documento de descargo donde me otorgaba permiso para disponer de él. Le transmito mis máximas condolencias, Thomas Fuller. Vamos, que se quería librar del marido a toda costa.
Day the Shambler came into the Sanders' lives.
Vamos, que eran colegas. Reconstrucción. Vamos a ver qué pasa aquí. Me da a mí que no nos ha contado toda la verdad esta mujer.
A house of artists.
¿Y ya?
A house of artists.
Menuda mierda.
Francis Sanders and Sarah Hawkins were close. Friends, even? Sanders' accession register. He wrote beside the Shambler, "Finally." What did Sarah Hawkins fear so much that she didn't want to sell the painting? He finally won. Was Sanders aware of his imminent doom? She first refused to sell the painting. How did that make her feel? She despises Sarah Hawkins, but it's the painting she truly hates. Why? The Shambler. I need to see it.
Al final nos sacamos los ojos. ¿Esto qué es? Más medicina. Perfecto. Ahí subiéndonos a tope. No sé por qué me da que esto es para una especie de combinación y que se abrirá alguna puerta. Puf, pero adivina. ¡Hola! ¡Oh!
Is this dagger
puta
part of
potra.
Sanders' collection, or was he seeking to acquire it?
Arte y misticismo, objetos olvidados. Es una colección escrita por Francis Sanders en la que cataloga y clasifica objetos de todas las épocas y procedencias vinculados con prácticas místicas u ocultistas. Está abierta por la página de una daga con un símbolo que no me resulta desconocido. Vale. Es el símbolo que dibujaba todo el rato en su celda. Uy, madre mía, esto pinta cada vez peor, ¿eh? Vale, a ver. Voy a ir mirando por aquí también. Que no se nos pase nada. ¿Esto es para salir? Cerrado. ¡Ja! Cerrado. Aquí como Pedro por su casa. Vale, es todo al mismo sitio.
Let's see what
Okay.
this cylinder has to say once it's inserted in a phonograph.
Pues lo vamos a poner ya mismo. ¿Se puede poner aquí? Sí.
Irene, I made a mistake. I fear that it might be too late for me. Nobody should enter, except to burn everything. I never had the courage. Pay somebody to do it. He's inside my head. I see him behind my eyelids each time I shut my eyes.
Bueno, y de fondo se oye la combinación del piano.
I can't hold him back. Forgive me.
That accursed gallery. Those accursed paintings. That accursed Sarah.
Vale, es para escuchar otra vez. Nada. Pues nada. ¿Qué potra he tenido con lo del piano? A ver. Nada. ¿Será aquí? Es su despacho parece, ¿no?
A strange Amerindian pendant.
Un atrapasueños. A ver.
I could use one of those.
Somníferos. Aquí todo el mundo se hincha somníferos.
Strange. For months, Sarah Hawkins refused to part with her painting, to finally give it away for nothing.
Querido Francis, te suplico que renuncies a la idea de poseer este maldito cuadro. Si en algo valoras nuestra amistad, líbrame del peso de esa culpa. Me niego a ser la responsable de tu caída. Te lo suplico, mi querido amigo. Olvídate del vagabundo. Tu amiga Sarah Hawkins. Vamos, que primero le advirtió y luego se lo vendió.
Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
Esto no sé qué... Este volumen dedica bastante atención a la comunidad del reverendo Whitewood. Su esposa expresa su preocupación sobre los extraños sueños que aquejan a la congregación desde su llegada a la isla. Algunos de sus miembros, incluso su marido, empezaron a hablar de sus visiones como si las enviara el mismo Dios. Ella teme que puedan sufrir el mismo destino que la tribu perdida. A lo mejor hay que ir a ver a esta señora también. Coño, si está aquí... Oh. Llave de la galería. Vale. Menos mal que subí a fuerza, porque si no... A ver si por aquí hay algo más. Vale. Más medicina. Genial. Nos viene de lujo. ¿Qué libro es? ¿No leer o leer? Lo voy a leer. Uah. Una especie de enciclopedia de criaturas monstruosas y desconocidas. Empiezo a pensar que existen. Wow. Ala. Nos ha tenido que subir el ocultismo. Puf. Vale, aquí nada. La llave, a ver para qué sirve. Bueno, vamos a hablar con
That's
esta
twice you've
primero.
stepped on my toes, Detective. Try not to make a habit of it.
I've got a lot of bad habits.
Some can be more fatal than others. What have you come looking for in this gallery?
No he venido a crear problemas.
I'm not here to cause trouble, if that's what's worrying you.
Worry me? Don't overestimate yourself. If the last beating wasn't enough for you, I can always give it another go. But as long as you keep out of my way, you're free to carry on with your visit.
Vale, a ver si he visto la daga.
I found this drawing of a dagger. Did you come across anything like it in your reading?
Perhaps. I saw several daggers in the ledgers. I could always check. What I didn't find, however, was the slightest reason why I should help you, Detective.
I don't need your services. I can manage all on my own, thanks.
Do it then.
Joder, pues nada. Vamos a abrir y a ver qué pasa. ¿Esto es para esconderme de verdad? ¿Para esconderme aquí? Voy a salir que se agobia el tío este que no veas. Wow. Esto es como un sapo. Va a estar todo relacionado. Uf. ¿En serio? Lo único que dices, joder. Vaya ayuda, Spears. Aquí está la
These
daga.
artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Pues no, tampoco. No se
These
dice más.
artifacts date from pre-Columbian times.
Vale, el cuadro creo que es ese que está allí. Pero voy a dar una vueltecita antes por todo esto. Que no se me pase nada.
Why was he so interested in old weapons?
¿Sacrificios? ¿Esto qué es? Vale, aceite para la lámpara. Ya la tenemos a tope. Joder.
The man transformed an entire wing of his manor into an art gallery.
Joder. Es que es un... Joder. Madre mía. Bueno. Vamos a ver qué hay por aquí. Nada. ¿Más aceite? Bueno, pues vamos al lío. A ver si nos da un chungo. No me lo puedo creer. Dios, sigilo. Esto lo llevo mal, ¿eh?
What the hell was that?
Yo creo que ya me ha visto. Empezamos bien. Coño, que se me ha visto. Corre, corre, corre. ¿Dónde hostia estaban los armados? Cojones. Encima aquí se agobia el tío que te cagas. Es imposible. Imposible.
What the hell was that?
Ya me ha visto. Joder. Dale por culo.
Maybe I can use this dagger.
¿Dónde hostias está?
Damn it! This dagger didn't work.
Corre como sus muertos. Voy a cogerle ventaja, porque si no es imposible. Nada, me cago en la hostia. Si al final va a ser la última que uso. Hola, 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 que me pilla. Aquí no. Aquí sí.
This dagger looks different.
Pues ojalá sea esta, amigo, porque... Coño, es esta, tiene un símbolo. ¡Oh, por fin! No me jodas.
What's the matter with you?
Nos tiene Cthulhu en su
You sure you
mano
won't be
ya.
needing that hand? You're losing it, detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Vale, esto bloqueado. Una criatura
I was
me
attacked by a
atacó.
creature. I pushed it back, I think.
I think so too.
¿Sabía lo del monstruo?
You knew. You knew about the beast.
What are you talking about? Think yourself lucky that I saved your hand, even if it was to save my goods.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
Puh, no me fío. Me da toda la información sin ningún coste.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I still got things to settle with Irene.
Capítulo 7. La librería sin nombre. El vagabundo resulta ser mucho más que una simple pintura de Sarah Hawkins. Una criatura gigantesca sale del cuadro y ataca a Pierce. Tras una dura pelea, el detective consigue devolverla al interior de la pintura. Más tarde, descubre que la daga que utilizó para repeler a la criatura llegó a manos de Sanders a través de Algernon Drake, el propietario de la librería sin nombre. Pierce decide hacer una visita al librero. Pues aquí estamos. Joder, cada vez pinta peor esto, ¿eh? Este tío se lo ha encargado. Bueno, gente, espero que os haya gustado este capítulo. Como veis, cada vez estamos más locos y cada vez se tuerce más la cosa. Pero lo vamos a ir dejando por aquí, porque ya la batalla con el bicho este me ha dejado hecho polvo. Así que nada, si os ha gustado, dadle un buen like, comentar todo lo que queráis. Y si os mola mucho, suscribíos para no perderos los siguientes. Soy Iberican y como siempre os digo, ha sido un auténtico placer. ¡Hasta luego!